Okay, so here we are. I am so excited, you guys. I'm so excited for you to meet Krystal Hille. We met probably about 7 or 8 months ago in a networking group, and I just remember her talking and what she does and the type of people that she helps. And I was just like, whoa, she's really good. But not only that, but she has this amazing energy, and I'm just so attracted to everything she does and what she's up to. And she's very intuitive, and I'm really excited to introduce you all to Krystal Hille. So Krystal, say hello to everybody.
Oh, thank you so much. What a wonderful introduction, Stephanie. Yeah, I was really happy that we connected as well at that networking event, and so grateful to be in your world right now.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So tell me, I always like to know what got you into publishing? You could do anything in the world. Why did you decide publishing?
It was really interesting. I never thought I would end up being a publisher, but it feels like everything went full cycle. I wrote my first book, or little story, at the age of 9. I was that teenager. I still have it actually in my drawer.
What's it called?
I don't remember what it's called. It's about the flowers and the bees. And, I was heavily into being in my garden. My parents always just set me into the garden. And I just was writing about that. And yeah, and then I was that teenager who was always writing poetry and reflecting on my life and who am I in relation to the world, and kind of just trying to make, those teenage thoughts, trying to make sense of the world. I loved literature. I loved how we can understand different worlds and move into different worlds and expand our own horizon through the experiences that somebody else is writing, which led me to doing a BA honors in English literature. And I became a theater director to bring literature alive on stage. And identify human emotions, because that was my second love. I've always known I'm here to help people. I'm here to help them to fulfill their true potential. And in my 20s, I wasn't ready to help anyone. You can't be a life coach. I don't, very few people can be a life coach when they're in their 20s. And that didn't even exist at the time. But then in my 30s, I found life coaching, and I thought that was it. Now I'm helping people. And then in 2020, I was in 2 multi-author books. And that's when I was introduced to this world of publishing and doing multi-author books and collaborating with people. And I really loved it so much, because what it did for me, it kind of took the competition out of things. We were all working on this project together, and that's what I loved. And also, by writing and reflecting on my own journey, something in me shifted and elevated and became clearer. So I loved that experience so much that when the opportunity came to be trained in doing it, my whole body was just saying yes. And that's how it happened. I followed that. I kind of tend to follow the synchronicities of life. And, I haven't looked back. I'm feeling like I've landed in something that I'm really, really excited about. And I feel like I can really make a contribution in this capacity.
For sure. And I've heard it said many times that whether you're writing a whole book or collaborating with others and having your own chapter, and you really have to look deep in it, it's almost like a personal growth experience for yourself too. And so you're growing and expanding, and at the same time you're getting your message out there to the world so that it's always there forever. And I think that's so amazing. That's just so great. So let me ask you a question. So I know people who, I've dreamed about being in a book. I've always wanted to write a book, but I'm scared. I don't know how to write a book. I don't know what to do. There's so many people out there that say that they can help you do this. What makes you different than working with somebody else?
It's a great question. And I firstly totally resonate with people who say, oh, I don't know how to write, because we've all got that English teacher who gave us a bad mark at some stage, and that sort of stays with us. But you know what? If you are passionate about your message and your mission, that's what we bring out. And I think what makes me different is that I've now worked with like 200 writers or 200 coaches and healers and consultants. And I've really identified, okay, what are the things that they need help with? Where do we need to just a little bit of training to really bring the message across? And so I've created a formula that I teach in my containers how to really write a transformational chapter that's not just about, oh, here's my story, look at how amazing I am, or oh, here is my expertise, I've developed this strategy and this and that, but blending them together so that we can really connect with the essence and the soul of that person, but then also see them in the expertise that they have developed, and by blending it and by also relating it to the reader and engaging the reader as if we're having a conversation. That's what makes it magical.
Yeah, magical. That's the word I think of when I think of you and just who you are and your essence. It to me, it's very magical. And not only does your story get out there to the public, but how does it also helps you as far as credibility. I mean, I know people, they do a chapter in a book and they get speaking gigs because of it, right? And they just get so many opportunities that they wouldn't have if they weren't in a book, or they can use it if they have a program, right? And their book can come along with it. And so there's so many advantages to having a book than just getting your story out there. Are there any other that I'm missing?
Absolutely. You've mentioned a lot of them. I think it really is that credibility, and you establish yourself on a global stage as an authority in your field. And what that does, as you said, bigger speaking gigs, being featured in the media, more clients see you. And I also feel like there's this personal transformation that we touched on earlier that happens for the writer. There is this up leveling and the increased confidence. A lot of my clients, there was one lady, she was just tapping into becoming a copywriter, having been a teacher for 20 years. And so being in this book at that important, crucial stage of transition in her career really fast-tracked her confidence. And she said being suddenly a best-selling international author gave her the confidence to magnetize so many opportunities to her. And she was absolutely on fire. And that happens over and over again. People do things as a result, like organizing summits or doing joint ventures that they would never have done before writing the book, because it's like a confidence booster.
For sure, for sure. So let me ask you, do you have any upcoming opportunities for anybody who's watching this right now?
Absolutely. Yes, always. We always have opportunities. So even if you watch this in a year's time, there'll be an upcoming opportunity.
Okay.
So right now there's 3 opportunities actually, and well, 4. So depending on where you're at in your writing journey, you might want to you might want to write a chapter in a book. And so we've got 2 opportunities. One's called Beyond Endings, Reveling in the Inner Winter of Self-Reflection. So that's a book that is very much, I like being controversial. I like bringing awareness to the things that are beyond the conditioning. So when we talk about endings, like it's about their endings need to be honored just as much as beginnings. And so often in our society, we are asked to, what's next? What's next? What's next? There's almost like an external push and an expectation that when a major shift happened in life, a major transition, we're just going to be okay to do the next thing. And very often we just need to sit and be. So I'm looking for, this is ideal for transition experts, grief counselors, marriage or divorce experts, anybody who deals with the transitions in life, whatever they may be, to really be featured.
I actually have a few people that come to mind that I definitely want to refer to you that need to get their story out there and can really change people's thoughts about that. Yeah, I definitely, I have 1 or 2 people in mind right at this very moment. Let me think what else. Well, first of all, so if my viewers do want to connect with you, I would assume that they could, scan the QR code on your screen, or what's the best way to get out?
Yeah, scanning that they could do. We can I think that's the best thing. We can also add my website. Okay. And on the website, there is always a button to connect with me, to book a meeting. We also have another book, Collaborations, Beyond Conditioning, which is a collaboration with Rosie Batista, and it's got a card deck attached to it as well. So that's contributors get, yes. Oh, it's about so they get the opportunity to write a chapter, but then also add 2 card decks with their best tip into this collaborative card deck that will go out as well. And I mean, card decks can be used in so many different ways. And if you have a product, it shows people that you take yourself seriously, and then they will take you more seriously as well. So that's another beautiful one. And it's called Beyond Conditioning, Living Life on Your Terms. Again, it's like and we're attracting a lot of holistic healers, wellness practitioners who are really going beyond the status quo of what's possible. And then if you're ready to write your full book, I've got a solo book incubator starting in September, where I'm guiding people through the, getting over the overwhelm of, oh my God, I want to write a book, but where do I start? So we're breaking it down and we're guiding people through it. They get accountability buddies, and it's going to be a beautiful process. And we have meetings and for feedback. And then, of course, if somebody happens to have a finished manuscript on their desktop or in reams of paper, we have opportunities to publish that as well and make them a best-selling author with their book.
Awesome. So, okay. So if, let's just say I was interested, or somebody who's watching was interested, they join it, you do it over Zoom, you kind of do it in a group setting, right? And generally, how long does the process take?
So the multi-author book process is 5-month container.
Okay.
And it's not just writing the book, it's like everything. It's marketing tools as well, it's writing labs. The solo book incubator is 6 months. So in 6 months, we think it's possible to write a book. And publishing, if you have a finished manuscript, it can be done as quick as 6 weeks.
Ah, very good. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Krystal? I just love what you do. And I really encourage any of you who have ever said, I have a story to tell and I want to be in a book. There's that, like I said earlier, there's so many people that are publishers, but Krystal is really amazing. And she holds your hand through the whole process and really helps you get to the core of what you really want to say. So it comes out so beautiful. And I really appreciate you, Krystal, for what you do in this world. And thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you
So much.
Yes, have a great day. Yes.
Yeah, I think you summarized it perfectly. So I have nothing further to add to that. So thank you so much, Stephanie.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off the Zoom right here, and we're going to stop the recording.